Всем привет, всем здравствуйте, с вами снова Лау, и мы продолжаем играть в Fallout New Vegas, и я предлагаю все-таки вернуться к этому лагерю Макарон, найти то, что я там пропустила, чтобы уже забыть об этом. Так. Сейчас, возможно, заодно и обчищу. Не обчищу, ну, карманы, в общем, освобожу своим спутникам. Так, нет, это... не то. Тут недоступно. Тут у нас... О, кстати, можно попить. О, да, водичка. Лагерь. Главный зал. Так, ладно, сейчас будем искать, смотреть. Так, ну с тобой мы разговаривали. Ага, вот тебя я пропустила, да? Анджела Уильямс. Что это за место?
This? The OSI lab. We don't get many visitors. The smell puts people off, I think. Nobody ever said science would smell clean and fresh. Anyway, you get used to it if you give it some time.
Ты из ученых?
I know I don't sound the part. Get raised by Brahmin ranchers and you never lose the twang. Drives Hildern crazy. But I know every inch of the power grid from Hoover Dam to Shady Sands. That's what we do here. Try to optimize the power output from the dam. Some of the others are working on an agricultural project, but truth be told, they aren't making much progress. Not yet, anyway.
Чем ты здесь занимаешься?
Head researcher. Mostly on the dam project, but I help out on other things when they need me. Gotta be flexible.
Помощь не нужна?
You mean give you work? No, that'd be up to the administrator, Hildern. He's back there in his office. Between you and me, I don't think he ever leaves. Plenty of mercs go in to see him, though.
Наемников зачем?
I can't say. We're not supposed to talk about the research. Not the details. If you're interested, I'm sure he'd see you.
Ну ладно, давай, пока.
Nice to meet you. If you need anything, I'm almost always in the lab.
Так, не прилично тыкать оружием людям в лицо, поэтому спрячем. А ну, что у тебя в столе? Может, тут книжки какие-то где-то. Раз он ученый. У тебя комп не работает. Ты в курсе? Ученый.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume you're here about Vault 22?
Нет, впервые слышу об убежище 22.
No, they wouldn't have briefed you, would they? Probably better that our junior fellows stay within the bounds of their pay grade anyway. Vault 22. Where to begin?
Я слушаю.
Imagine, if you will, the wasteland in bloom. Vast fields of corn that grow from seeds and produce their bounty in the space of a month. Orchards of trees, their branches weighed halfway to the ground, hung with fat, ripe oranges, a harvest that could feed a city or a nation. And all this, requiring no more than a few drops of precious water and the efforts of only a handful of human farmers. Impossible?
Нет ничего невозможного.
Precisely. Science has proven that truth 1,000 times over. But how many wasteland savages believe it? Present company accepted, of course. The bounty I described to you is no idle fantasy. It exists in primitive form only a few miles from where we stand. We need only reach out and unlock its secret. For that, the OSI needs you.
Расскажи дальше.
Good. I thought I sensed the kindred soul in you, beneath the wasteland veneer. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlock the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated.
Хорошо, я за это возьмусь.
Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand? Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you?
Мне нужно знать что-то еще?
I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No insult intended, of course.
У меня есть еще вопросы.
Oh? What might those be?
Расскажи мне про БНП.
The Office of Science and Industry. It's a rather expansive topic. I could talk for hours, but I'm sure I'd bore you. Suffice to say, we are the leading edge of the NCR. Our work focuses on practical matters: medicine, engineering, biology. The dam, for instance. OSI routes its energy supply to our cities in the West. That's only one responsibility of this office.
Так ты говоришь, ты директор БНП?
Director of the entire OSI? Me? If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to plant seditious ideas in my head. No, I direct our eastern operations. I've been responsible for squeezing unprecedented levels of power from the dam. I'm also confronting the problem of food production in what little spare time I have. But I've found some promising leads.
И ты все это делаешь самостоятельно?
Yes, with the assistance of my team, of course.
НКР страдает от нехватки продовольствия?
Not yet, but our government understands the value of proactive thought. Our studies project an imbalance between production and consumption. Or, for a layman such as yourself, not enough food, too many mouths to feed. Mass starvation in a decade or so.
Ну, судя по рассказам некоторых постов НКР, рейнджеров, они уже там голодают, потому что вы им припасы не привозите. Какие еще задания выполняет ваша станция?
We aid some programs the Republic has sponsored involving sharecropper farms in the area. But those haven't panned out too well from what I hear. There have been complaints about the amount of water we're supplying. But those are just excuses for lack of diligence, I'm sure.
Вы контролируете дамбу отсюда?
Directly? No. But we attempt to maximize its output. You have no idea how difficult it is to provide power to an entire nation. Fortunately, we also have the Helios 1 facility. One of our external contractors recently got the station up and running. His name was something like exceptional or marvelous or...
Нет, это моя работа, починка Гелиуса.
I see. Of course you did.
Не поверил. Каковы, по-твоему, шансы НКР против региона?
To be frank, I have no idea. I leave the fighting to Colonel Shu, and I expect him to leave the science to me. Too many people have opinions on things they know nothing about. And the more ignorant they are, the more opinions they have.
Так, еще вопросы? Нет вопросов.
Yes. Goodbye.
Вот, таким образом у нас еще один квест появился. Так что да, спасибо, что сказали,
Did
что
Dr.
пропустила.
Hildern... This really isn't any of my business, but did he give you a job?
Откуда такой интерес?
Not interested. More concerned. It's just... You're not the first person he sent to Vault 22. And I know he'd never tell you. There were a lot of mercs. One after another. None of them came back. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect. But she's an absolute genius. And he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs?
Нет, Хилдер ни о ком не упоминал.
But now he's hired you. Which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keeley, and she failed, or he's given up on her. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich. Not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc. But I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead.
Ладно, я поищу ее.
I had a good feeling about you. Moment you walked in. I mean it.
Вопросы у меня есть.
Of course. Anything.
Что еще ты можешь рассказать об этой Киле?
Keeley's brilliant. An absolute genius. She plays at being mean, but it's all a front. When you've lived as long as she has, you get defensive around new people. Who wants to make a friend when you know you'll outlive them?
Сколько Киле лет?
I couldn't get her to say, but she talked about the war. The Great War, when the bombs fell, like she'd been there. So I'm guessing pretty old. 200 years? Maybe more.
О-о-о. Как уживаются Киле и Хилдерн?
Like a Brahmin and a Deathclaw, though I'm not sure which would be which. Bad analogy, maybe. They're both Deathclaws in their way. Keeley hates Hildern. She says he's more politician than scientist, and gets in the way of true discovery. And Hildern hates Keeley because... well, because every time they meet, she makes him look like an ass. In front of important people, usually.
Чем ты здесь занимаешься? Так, ну ладно, что ты думаешь о докторе Хилдерне?
The director? He's very well-spoken and knowledgeable.
Просто он больше интересуется результатами, а не людьми.
He's not what you'd call warm, unless he wants something from you. And even then, it's kind of a cold warm. Most of the time, I focus on the science and try to forget him. He doesn't get mixed up in any actual work, though he tells people that he does.
Да, я видела, он сидел за неработающим компом. Так доктор Хилдерн пожинает лавры за твою работу?
He sure does. Everyone knows it. I've just got to endure this job until the project is finished. But abandoning Keeley, he crossed a line. Taking credit for other people's work is one thing. Sending people to die in the waste is another. If Hildern tries to recruit any more mercs, I'm gonna warn them. What can he do to me? I'm the only one who can run this lab.
Хилдерн упоминал о последователях апокалипсиса? Разве он упоминал? Чем ты здесь занимаешься?
Head researcher. Mostly on the dam project, but I help out on other things when they need me. Gotta be flexible.
Так, ну ладно, Хилдерн упоминал о последователях апокалипсиса.
My father used to say good things about them, but that was years ago. Back when they teach farmers and ranchers about crop rotation and the like. Nowadays, they've changed. They're doing what they can to discredit the NCR, give us a bad name with the locals. Dr. Hildern trained with them years ago. Not me, though. I'm an OSI girl.
Говорят, еда здесь в округе так себе.
It's foul, to tell the truth. Most people try to get what they can from the outside, even if it's just a smuggled candy bar now and then. Contreras is a genius. He can find almost anything you'd want. Takes caps to get him motivated, though. He won't do a thing for free.
Ну ладно, до свидания.
Right. Stay safe.
Давай-ка я с тобой еще раз поговорю.
Yes? Something else you needed?
Ты ведь и других послал в убежище 22, верно?
I never said you were. You've been speaking to Williams, haven't you?
Нет, Уильямс мне ничего не сказала.
All right, I'll take you at your word. Williams didn't say anything at all. You just came to this conclusion on your own. No, you aren't the first person I've sent to the vault. I'm sorry that I neglected to tell you, but I don't see how it makes any difference.
И скольких еще ты послал в убежище?
I'd have to consult my records. 8, 10. Your point is what?
И тебя не волнует, что ты посылал 8 или 10 человек на смерть?
I have no evidence that they're dead. 1,000 things could have happened between here and the vault. They could have changed their minds and walked away. I wouldn't be much of a scientist if I leapt to conclusions without proof.
Удвой количество крышек, я разнесу по миру какой-то гад. Ну, как бы можно, да, и опыт дадут за это, и больше крышек получу, но не хочу я так говорить, предпочитаю знать, во что ввязываюсь.
You want certainty? You'll never find it, especially not in the pursuit of science. Take my advice. Forget about Williams. She's a talented researcher, but she doesn't understand people, and she can't see
А
the
ты
big
в
picture.
состоянии.
Now, I know your time is valuable, so I won't waste any more of it. Feel free to show yourself out.
Милости прошу отваливать отсюда. Да.
If you can find Keeley and keep her safe, I'll pay you what...
Так, убежище 22. Это то, которое рядом с канализацией, из которой я вылезла. Нет, это убежище 34. А где убежище 22? 19-е, потом там было 3-е. Да. В принципе, не так уж, чтоб сильно и близко. Я бы хотела сначала в убежище 34 попасть. Ну, оно тут недалеко. Мы там уже лазили. Так что, да, отправимся туда. Но сначала я, наверное, загляну к торговцу. А, еще, да. Где там был этот поезд?
Go on through, soldier.
Вот, хотела посмотреть, тут еще можно поехать на поезде на Стрип. Ну, посмотреть хотя бы, что это, куда это ведет. Ага, это где-то недалеко.
My buddies at Camp McCarran are breathing easy now that the Fiend's leader is dead.
Security Mark 1.
Self-control is a virtue.
I bet it feels real nice to be carrying those weapons around on the Strip. That damn Mr. House has forbid any NCR military personnel from carrying any sort of firearms on the Strip. Well, except for Captain Pappas. Mr. House still doesn't trust the NCR. A word of advice. The Securitrons won't put up with any funny stuff out there, so don't do anything stupid. This your first time on the Strip?
Да, так и есть.
Well, it's time to pop your Vegas cherry, friend. I'm sure you'll have a blast and be drunk and capless in no time. I can give you a bit more information about the various casinos if you're not sure on where to get started.
Расскажи мне о казино на Стрипе.
Well, there's the Lucky 38, Ultralux, Gamora, and the Tops. Which one do you want to know about?
А что за дела в ультралюксе?
The Ultralux is the nicest casino on the Strip. Real high-end, extravagant, and expensive. Best you have a lot of caps if you want to go there.
Что ты знаешь о Гаморе?
Gamora is the favorite of the NCR troops on the Strip. If you like girls, alcohol, gambling, and drugs, then Gamora is just the place for you.
На что похоже Топс?
The Tops is the cool place to be right now. Lots of entertainment and shows going on there as well as the gambling. If you want to catch a show and have a few drinks, you should definitely hit up the Aces Theater in the Tops.
Про Лаки 38 расскажи.
Don't know much about it, to tell the truth. That's where Mr. House and his Securitrons are set up, and no one's been in there as long as people can remember. Probably best that you just ignore it.
Значит, обязательно надо будет сунуться. Так,
Ask away.
еще. Что там еще есть, кроме казино?
Well, there's Vault 21 and the NCR Embassy. Both places are located on the south side of the Strip. Vault 21 is a small hotel and gift shop. It's not as nice as the casinos, but it's a whole hell of a lot cheaper. The NCR Embassy is the headquarters for the NCR on the Strip. The ambassador and his offices are there as well as the MP headquarters.
Ну ладно, до свидания.
Ma'am?
Так, я могу? О, экспресс. Ящик для почты. Я думаю,
Without
мне...
leadership, fiends are as good as dead.
No violence is permitted on the Strip.
Просто боец. Кексы. Неработающий терминал. Что ты ремонтируешь там, что ли?
A ranger? Here in the Strip? Fine company, sir.
Так ты тоже из НКР. Шутя. Так, сейчас мы экспрессом воспользуемся, чтобы почистить наши кармашки. Сейчас вернусь. Так, вроде бы все. Давайте дальше.
Nelson's back in our hands. Hope we can defend it this time.
Смотреть, что тут есть. Ladies. Да что-то тут ничего я не вижу.
Hello.
А, вот выход. Стрип Нью-Вегас. А ну. О,
Howdy, partner. You've come for a piece, haven't you? Welcome to New Vegas.
что ты здесь делаешь?
Consider me your personal welcome wagon. Now hear this. The head honcho of New Vegas, Mr. House, is itching to make your acquaintance. Just head for the Lucky 38. It's the big old tower shaped like a roulette spinner.
Почему его приглашение передает робот?
Well, now, It was Mr. House that made Securitrons like me. Seems the least I can do is pass on his message. Don't dawdle. He'll be waiting.
Стой, 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 стой.
No, please enjoy the casinos.
Стой, подожди.
No, continuing patrol.
Не поняла. Ох. Да. Попали мы в местяк. Стоит ли мне сейчас туда идти? Или может сначала сходить в убежище, которое не 22-е, а вот это, 34-е, куда я хотела? Или сначала тут походить, уже все узнать и посетить? Что это такое вообще? Где тут вход? Есть вход? Наверное, надо все-таки карту местности открыть. Боец военной полиции.
The fiends are running for their lives. That'll show everyone what we do to our enemies.
He took it over from the last guy. Mr. Mob-infested hellhole. Did he just say that? I take my wife everywhere, but somehow she keeps finding her way back. I did it! My cousin and his wife are a fastidious couple. She's fast, and he's hideous. Ha-cha-cha! My wife and I know the secret to a happy marriage. 2 times a week, we go to a nice restaurant. She goes Mondays, I go Fridays. I had dinner at the Ultra Lux the other night. I told them my steak tastes funny. They said it was a clown. I ate a person. I know a guy, his motto is love thy neighbor. He lives next to a brothel. Oh no. I bought my wife a little car here in New Vegas, an Omerta. It has a hood under the hood. Ай-яй-яй.
Чё? Что, шутки закончились?
Hey, come on, lady. I'm trying to put on a show here.
У меня несколько вопросов.
All right, then make it snappy, kid. This isn't exactly a lucrative career enterprise here.
Ты кто?
The name's Knight, Billy Knight. And this here's what a lifelong career in comedy will get you. Oi.
Но мы же стоим на углу богом забытой улицы.
That's exactly my point, kid. Exactly my point!
И давно ты тут шутки шутишь?
If you believe my mother, since she first laid eyes on me, first thing she said was, boy, that's a funny-looking kid. I guess I got a face only a mother could love, because no one else would give me the time of day. Hey, maybe you can help me. See, I can never tell when it's lunchtime.
Хочешь оторваться по полной?
Break's better than a shot. Less chance of lead poisoning. Hey, if you know any gigs hiring, I'll work cheap. Real cheap. I'll take peanuts. I'll take the shells.
Ладно, пока.
Sure, later.
Ворота Стрип, Нью-Вегаса.
Sure, later.
И куда это ведет? Так, это, наверное, просто путник, да?
Sure,
Игрок.
later.
I don't talk to nobodies. NCR Rangers deserve all my
Self-control is
praise.
a virtue.
Опаньки. Опаньки. Нет, давайте сначала вот эту часть осмотрим.
You turned around? Howdy. Interested in a refreshing beverage or a tasty snack?
Ты работаешь на одно из казино?
Nope. Strictly independent. Well, kind of independent. To vend anything here on the Strip, you gotta register with one of those police robots and sign a franchisee agreement. At the end of each day, you keep half of what you made. The rest you hand over to those bots. And they know if you're cheating.
Мистер Хаус получает половину дневной выручки. Получает половину дневной выручки?
Yep, he makes the rules. It's steep, but it sure beats living in North Vegas. Here on the Strip, I can afford to eat, and no one tries to kill me.
Что ты продаешь?
Non-alcoholic beverages and snack foods. The casinos get to sell booze. No one else does.
Расскажи мне про Стрип.
It's the most amazing place in the world, don't you think? This must be what it was like to live 1,000 years ago. There are 3 casinos open for business. Gomorrah, the Tops, and the Ultralux. They get nicer in that order. This here's the monorail station leading in from Camp McCarran. Most of my business is with soldiers coming and going on furlough.
Посмотрим, что у тебя есть на
Take your
продажу.
pick.
Очищенная вода у нее есть. Угу. Ну, мне, в принципе, ничего не надо. Пока что. Уолтер Фебус.
Howdy, young lady. How can I help you? But make it quick. Goddamn heat's worse in this town than in the middle of a Brahmin herd at noon.
Похоже, что тебе не просто жарко. В чем дело?
Sharp eyes on you, all right. We've gone through a heap of trouble to get in town. Ethel says I just need to wet my throat. A drink? Nonsense. All I need now is to settle a score. We didn't come a long ways just to stroll our best clothes around.
Что ты сказал про свести счеты?
There's a long list of grievances that Heck Gunderson's got to answer for, kid. I'm here to make sure that rancher stops stealing our lands. If he ain't chiseling behind your back, he just sends his men ready for a fight. Then you either sell your ranch for a penny, or you're dead. I'm tired of being trampled over, kid, and I got a good mind to stop Heck once and for all.
Что ты еще можешь рассказать о Хеке Гундерсоне?
What more you want? He's a slithering snake, what he is. One of the biggest landowners this side of the Colorado, and it's all stolen, I tell you. All that money buys him any NCR senators he wants. Scoundrels like Heck. There's just no way for us small folks to get by, much less prosper, kid.
Чем Хек опасен для остальных фермеров с пустошей?
We're honest folk out there. Damn hard to make the living in the desert, kid. Heck's a different breed. Goddamn thief he is. Scaring us into giving away our lands is all he's done to strike it flush. Comes packing iron and none can hold a candle to his men. Bad blood.
Что ты хочешь с ним сделать?
I have no illusions that he'll ever stop his plundering, so I'm just gonna make him suffer. That's what I'm gonna do. Here in town, he's got a few of his armed men to protect him. I just gotta find out what he's up to, and then I'll know where to hit him hard.
Тебе так, возможно, я смогу тебе помочь.
Where I come from, we appreciate good intentions. I reckon you could help me figure out what he's doing in town. Tell you what, that chiseler's blowing hot air over at that there fancy casino, the Ultralux. Find out what's his story here, will you?
Ладно. Когда узнаю о нем побольше, вернусь.
All right, kid. I appreciate it. I hope to see you soon.
Только подожди.
Howdy. Good seeing you again.
Так. Ты же издалека, так?
Darn far it is, our ranch. Ethel would be happy to yap about that. I got more important things in mind, kid.
Ты разводишь толсторогов?
Bighorn is my trade since I was a young'un. I confess, it's hard living these days, kid. The wasteland ain't the same anymore.
Я хочу спросить тебя о пустошах.
I know it better than my wife's corset. What about it, kid?
А как обитатели пустошей справляются в наше время?
Stealing our pure breed resolve, that's how. We've faced the wasteland right in the old mug and told her to shove it. Listen, we own these lands, and I'll be damned if the NCR, those Legion bastards, or anyone else tries to walk all over us.
Где на пустошах опаснее всего?
Hell, it's all dangerous. Know why? Because you can't trust anything that stands on two legs. If you're looking for real trouble, head straight into the mountains. Men don't walk up there, for good reasons, kid.
А как обитатели пустоши справляют? Так, мы это уже слышали.
Listen, we own these lands.
Где на пустошах опаснее? Так, мы это уже слушали.
If you're looking for real trouble, head...
Еще пару вопросов хочу задать.
I got some time. What's eating you?
Расскажи мне о себе.
Okay. What do you want to know?
И еще о своем доме расскажи.
Darn far it is, our ranch. Ethel would be happy to yap about that. I got more...
На что похожа жизнь на ферме толсторогов?
Bighorn is my trade since I was a young'un. I confess, it's hard living these days.
Так, это мы слышали. Почему вопросы эти не... Так. Ну ладно, прощай. Ага, вот его жена.
If you don't mind, I have to look after my husband.
Что вы с ним делаете тут на стрипе?
He's got his reasons. And when that man gets a notion stuck in his head, he's like a bighorn or bull that's seen red. And if it means Heck Gunderson's involved, then you better step aside before the stampede tramples you over.
Что такого важного насчет Хека Гундерсона?
If that's what you want to talk about, go see Walter. He'll talk your ear off. Everything he says about the evils of Heck Gunderson is true, but I've never held the notion that fighting evil with evil carries the world forward.
Я могу чем-нибудь тебе помочь?
I don't suppose you have the magic powers necessary to bring my husband to his senses, do you? He swears he won't leave this godforsaken city until he's seen Heck suffer. So far as I can see, we're the only ones in pain.
Посмотрим, что я смогу сделать.
That's very kind of you. Maybe this'll be the dawn of a new day.
Так, а ну-ка.
Good to see you.
Откуда ты?
Oh, a good ways west of here, in a place you've never been. Far as we're concerned, only name it ever had was Phoebus Ranch. That was before we lost some land to Heck Gunderson. The bank demanded payment in full the day after the Stockmen's Association bailed it out.
На что похожа жизнь на ферме толсторогов?
A good life if you don't mind hard work. The only real fuss is the constant bother with varmints. Fail to catch mole rats early in their breeding, and you'll have 3 or 4 head breaking their ankles in mole rat holes every day. Of course, the worst varmint of all is a Brahmin baron with his hands in the pockets of a Republic senator. That's a problem you can't solve with a varmint rifle, though I fear my husband's apt to try. He's got Heck Gunderson in his sights right now.
Так.
I'm done talking about...
Все, до
All
свидания.
right, goodbye.
Так, ты кто? Просто путник, игрок.
The fiends are running for their lives. That'll show everyone what we do to
Так,
our
это
enemies.
станция. Да. Нам туда пока не надо. Ой,
My
тё
buddies at Camp
как-то
McCarran are breathing easy now that the fiend's leader is dead.
нехорошо.
Hey,
Эй, эй, эй. Журнальный автомат. О! Прикольно. А ну-ка. Оно как-то обновляется, интересно. О,
Enjoy, please. Do not stand in the fountains.
Промоутер Топс.
Please obey all weapon laws.
Это Топс, но мы туда пока не пойдем. Пока тут с местными поболтаем.
Later, whoever you are.
Кстати, надо поесть же.
Without leadership, the fiends are as good as dead.
Self-control is a virtue.
Это у нас ультралюкс казино. Это у нас проход куда? Стрип Нью-Вегаса. Ну так, откроем тут. Угу. Так, ну сначала мы в эти казиношки позаходим, но только давайте, наверное, в следующий раз. Сегодня такая коротенькая серия. Заглянули мы в этот стрип Нью-Вегаса, конечно, да. Тут шикарно по сравнению с пустошами. И продолжим тут все исследовать в следующей серии. Наверное, да. А потом уже пойдем обратно в убежище, в которое я хотела. Где это? Подождите. Не то. Вот в это, в убежище 34, которое я хотела. Да вообще, может сначала вот в эти все места походить. Тут наверняка миллион квестов еще. Плюс с этим оружейником встретиться бы не помешало. Тогда можно было бы... Ну, в общем, вы все знаете, я это уже говорила не раз. Пока завершаем на этом. Продолжим в следующий раз. Всем спасибо, всем пока. До новых встреч. С вами была Лау.